Hey everyone, Mrs. Spatola. Today we're going to finish up our review for Unit 3 as we prepare for our assessment. You're all doing such a great job so far. So let's move on with number 40. Number 40 says, which has the greatest value when P is equal to 2? With questions like this, it's always important. Be careful of the key words or be aware of the key words. In this case, they're asking you what is the greatest value. Sometimes they'll ask you what is the least value. Well, in this case, they're telling you that P is equal to 2. You have 4 choices. They're giving you 4 choices, and what you want to do is substitute the value of P, which is 2, into each of the different expressions to see which one, in this case, has the greatest value. When you go ahead and do that, you will see, that's my dog, you will see that P to the third, which is 2 to the third, which is 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, and that will answer the question to number 40. Number 41 is a rounding question. Just be sure when you see the word about, you have to round both numbers. The thing about math is that math is one of the few things in life that's fair. Whatever you do for one thing, you have to do for the other thing. So when you're rounding, always keep in mind you always have to round both numbers. So in this case, a magician for a child's birthday party charges $49.60 per hour. About how much did the magician charge for 4 5/10 hours or 4.5 hours? All you have to do is round each one. So the $49.60 rounded to 50, the 4.5 rounded to 5, and then you simply multiply. So the answer is about $250. To review a little further, input-output tables, writing a rule. So the input is the number used to substitute into the expression, and the output is going to be the answer you get after you evaluate. Evaluate, what's another word for evaluate? That would be the word solve. So in this case here, the input is n, that's instead of x, so sometimes you'll have x, you'll have different values. The output is n plus 5. So in this case here, what they're showing you is that in this example, n is equal to 3. So in this case here, we have 3 plus 5, and then our output is going to be 8. And you would do the same for the remaining. That's just an example. Let's move on. Let's look at number 42. Let's scoot over here. Number 42, we have x, which is your input, and we have the following expression, a little more on the challenging side. They're going to get a little tougher. 6 times x plus 7 plus x squared. One of the ways that we've been doing it in class is that we've been showing you and we've been using a y as the output. You can continue to draw that if you'd like. This is a lot of what you'll do in 6th grade, lots of this coming up in 7th grade. In this example, when x is equal to 5, your value for your y will be 97. You can check your work here. Always make sure when you're solving, step by step. Don't try to do too many things at one time because then you're bound to make mistakes. So always be careful. With math, take your time, one step at a time. When you get to the answer, you'll be proud because you'll most likely have the correct answer if you do one thing at a time. With x for here, your input when x is equal to 8, you substitute, your final answer is 154. Number 43 is a straight evaluation. You're going to use substitution, 13 plus 8w. You substitute in the 9 for the w, and your final answer is 85. Number 44 was a little bit of a challenge. Great word problem to write and translate an expression. A diner has booths and counter seating. Each booth can, that should be can, seat 4 people, and another 15 can sit at the counter. Write an expression to show how many can be seated at the diner. Very simply, you would multiply 4 times the number of booths, and we could make that B, plus the 15 that can sit at the counter. So your final expression for that one, 4B plus 15. For number 45, you can pause the video at any time if you need to. We have 2 students, they were arguing about how they got an answer. Finally, you follow the order of operations. Who was correct? Final answer is Sabrina was correct. 46 explain the correct steps. You had to multiply, add, subtract, and then add. And then finally, number 47, what did the person who got the problem incorrect do wrong? He did not follow the order of operations. He just started at the beginning and ran all the way through. With the order of operations, you need to look for the specific order, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, or division, whichever comes first in the problem, from left to right, or addition and subtraction. Again, whichever comes first in the problem from left to right. On the next page, top of the page, number 48, which of the following gives you an answer of 30? This is a great question. Hint, hint, you will see something similar to this on your upcoming assessment. So make sure you follow the order of operations correctly, and you can see the correct answer was B. And for this one, you could go through the process of how you solved each one using the order of operations. Okay, let's move on. On this page, I just wanted to bring to your attention, there are some vocabulary terms that you could review for the assessment. We have some vocabulary words. You can go through these. The ones at the bottom here, such as volume, area, surface area, you could take those off. But everything else pretty much you have seen already. You should know what each of them mean. If there is something that you're unsure of, go back into your workbook and you can look them up. You can go back in your Google Classroom and watch any of the videos that you need to. The last thing I wanted to tell you is that after this, you are going to be playing a Jeopardy game. If you are playing at home, you can play as one team and keep track of your points so that you can see how well you do. You always have the opportunity to replay the game or restart the game after you finished. If you're playing in the classroom, if you want to split up into two teams, that's great. If not, just keep it as one and try your best. If you're in the classroom today, you can go home. This is in your Google Classroom, so you want to try this at home as well. You're off tomorrow. Tomorrow's your remote day. You can practice as well. This is Mrs. Spatola wishing you a great day, and be kind.